Alright, I'm going to do a video of the practice quiz here. So let's go ahead and preview it. So some students emailed me and said they were confused by the notation on here, and I can see why, because I taught you in class what the square bracket and the parentheses meant, but I didn't emphasize that I didn't mark it wrong on Desmos if you use parentheses instead of square bracket. But that's where the confusion came in, and that's on question 2 and question 4. So let's take a look at this, and then I gave everyone another shot at this practice. So I gave everyone another attempt. So if you've attempted it, you don't like your score, you can attempt it again. And then I made a Desmos activity of the same concepts as this quiz here, and you'll just do that, and I'll grade that in the all task, all assignments category. This will go in the practice category. So starting with this one here, this is a cube root function. The point of symmetry would be -5, -2, and it would be reflected over the x-axis. So here, this one, the point of symmetry is at -5, -2, and it's reflected over the x. So this one would be E. Here's a cube root graph reflected over the x, vertex 2, 5. So we're looking for a vertex 2, 5 and reflected. So this one has 2, 5, but it's not reflected. So 2, 5 and reflected would be B. And then the next one is 2, 5 not reflected. So 2, 5 not reflected. I passed that one up when I was looking for the other one. That's this one, D. And then the square root where the endpoint is 2, 5. So that's C. So 2, 5 not reflected is C. And then the cube root, -5, -2 is the point of symmetry, not reflected. That's F. So if I look through the letters here, the only one I don't have is A. Let's check to see if that matches this equation. So it would be endpoint 2, 5, and then reflected. So endpoint 2, 5, and reflected. That does match that one. So this one is A. So I don't know if they shuffled the answers here or not, but if they did, make sure the equations match the ones I have on my screen, because I think they may have shuffled the questions on this. I didn't look at the characteristic of this quiz to see if they shuffled the answers or not. All right, identify the key features here. So here, once again, you're going to have to use the correct interval notation. So x is greater than or equal to 2. So they don't have that written that way as an inequality, but you want the one with the square bracket here. So 2 to infinity. So that means it includes 2, because that's the endpoint there. 2 to infinity on the domain. The range going from -infinity to 5, and I want a square bracket around the 5. So -infinity to 5, square bracket on the 5. That's this one. So some of you may have picked this other one, which is, I would give you credit for on a test. I'm not going to take off for this notation, but I mean, you should get used to using the right notation, because when you get to calculus, you'll be using the interval notation, and if it includes 5, then include it. Includes 2, make it sure you make a square bracket around the 2 and the 5 here. So the vertex is at 2, 5. That's right here. Whoops, that's wrong. Vertex would be for a parabola. The endpoint is at 2, 5. So maybe some of you got tripped up on that, like I just did. So endpoint 2, 5. And then there's not point of symmetry. That's for a cube root. So some of you may got tripped up on these two here. This square root graph has an endpoint right here at 2, 5. So increasing, this is never increasing, so NA for increasing. And then it's decreasing from 2 to infinity. So that's this answer right here. In class, I wrote it with a square bracket. You could write it that way. I wouldn't mark that wrong with square bracket. I guess they're trying to say that this couldn't be, if it's a graph where it's increasing and decreasing, it couldn't be increasing and decreasing at the same point there. So that's why they use the parentheses. So like a vertex of a parabola could not be both increasing and decreasing. All right, so match the function with its inverse. So this vertex is at 3, -2. So I want to pick the parabola of vertex -2, 3. That's this one. So this is A. And then B, the vertex is at -3, 0. So I want to pick the one at 0, -3. That's this one. And then see what this one, see if this matches up. So 0, -5, and -5, 0. Just see. So C, A, B there. As long as they didn't shuffle those there. So the couple times that I looked at these quiz, they didn't shuffle the answers. So if they are shuffling the answer, make sure you are picking the right answers there. All right. This question I think is controversial to me because right here, the vertex is at -1. So I know that from -infinity to -1, and then from -1 to infinity with the square bracket. So it's that answer here. So they did shuffle this one because last time they weren't in that order. But anyway, I think there's other correct answers here. So if you got this one wrong, it's because there are other correct answers here. But they want you to just look at this vertex here. It's at x value of -1. So anything greater than or equal to -1, and anything less than or equal to -1. So -infinity to -1 and -1 to infinity. So let's go ahead and submit this. And you can see that I got them all right there. So I don't know why this shows up like this, but here's the answers. Okay, so you can watch this video to help you, and then go to Desmos and take the quiz. And like I put on the module, that you're not going to have to submit anything, and all your work will be saved in Desmos. So I'll just go there and look at your work and grade your work there.